Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to install additional RAM slots, additional RAM modules onto uh, this laptop, Dell M4800. So first you need to find suitable RAM modules for your system. Because my laptop currently has two modules installed on its back side, which we can see on the other side. These are the two modules that are installed. Each one of them is 4 gigabytes, and I'm going to add two additional modules of the same size, which means 4 gigabytes. So I have found RAM modules that are exactly the same model from Samsung, exactly the same speed. You can see PC3L 12800S, and also the same model M471B5173QH0YK0. And the second module is this, exactly the same. So now, in order to install the RAM modules, because the other two slots are occupied on the back side, I'm going to install these new modules here below the keyboard. So you have some screws to remove. One screw here, I have removed it already, and one screw here and another screw here. I have removed them, but be careful, you might also have a screw here as well. So 4 screws in total. Once you remove them, be careful when removing the keyboard, because you might break it if you are not careful. There are latches here that keep it in place. You need to loosen that a little bit, and once you remove it with a tick, you can slowly remove it like this, but be careful because there's a ribbon cable below it. So be careful not to remove that cable, because we are not going to need removing that cable. And I'm going to get some help using this mag to remove that there. And before removing the keyboard, also there was a rim here that kept the keyboard in place and also showed the Dell brand. You can see I have also removed that before removing the keyboard. Removing this is also a little bit tricky, but in general it is easy. But you need to be careful not to break it, because it's plastic and it requires you to be careful. Okay, once you remove that rim, once you remove the keyboard, you loosen the keyboard. Of course, we don't need to remove this cable. As I said, it is still connected. Be sure you don't remove it from its place. Let's install the first module. The first module, you need to align this empty part here inside against the part, the white part here, and then slowly press it down so that it gets into its place like this. And once we hear the click sound, it means that it was positioned as it should. Next one, the second module. Again, we need to align the groove to the empty spot. So I align them, and now we can press it down, and we heard the tick. We heard the click sound, which means we put that in place. Now, before I put the screws back on, we need to test the computer. We need to power it on to see everything is correctly done and the RAMs are properly identified by the system. So let's do that. I'm going to connect the power source to my laptop because this laptop doesn't have a battery, so I have to put it on the table and connect the power source, or I can bring the power source here. Alright, I connected the power source. As you can see, it is turning on. The system identified correctly the system RAM has increased, and it shows us this warning: the amount of system memory has changed. To continue, press F1. So press F1, and I'm gonna boot up one of my operating systems. Let's go into Fedora and see actually if it is seeing all the total number of modules and the total amount of RAM that is supposed to be in the system, which you can expect. 4 times 4 is 16. Once we enter the password and enter the system, I'm going to open the About, go to the About program, and there we go. The amount of memory is 16 gigabytes. That's nice. Now I can reboot the system and also check the amount of RAM on Windows as well. Restart. Was increased. Okay, let's go to About program. I press start and then write about your PC. I open it. There we go. You can see that the amount of installed RAM is 16 gigabyte. Everything is nice. So fortunately, the installation was successful. So now I'm going to turn off the system and unplug the power source so that we can continue screwing the screws, putting the screws back on around the keyboard and putting that in place. Let's remove the power source. I'm gonna put the laptop on my work desk. Okay, let's put the screws back. First, you need to put these parts, the corners of the keyboard, in its place, and hear the clicking sound like this. Just remember, never overpress something, because if you overpress something and you feel that it is not right, probably you are right. You are probably doing something wrong. You don't need to overpress anything. Okay, I put the screws back for the keyboard. There are 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm gonna put back the rim. This also has clicking sound. When you position it in its correct place, you should hear the clicking sound. And start from one side and go all the way to other parts to put it in place. Okay. That's it. All right, that's it. I also removed these parts. You didn't need to do that. These edges don't need to be removed, so don't loosen them. I'm putting them back in their place. That's it. Let's check the door if the lid closes correctly. Yes, looks like it is working. The lock is working. And we have two screws that we need to put back. They are on the back side for this cover. One of them should be put here. Again, this didn't need to be removed. I did it by mistake, so keep that in mind. You don't need to remove this screw. Okay. And this one is for the cover. After we put the cover, this cover is kind of broken on one side, so it doesn't have the clicking sound. That's it. I put the screw back in here, and that's it. Of course, if you put the RAM modules on the other side below the keyboard, you don't need to remove the cover, the back cover at all. But in order to show you the other two modules, I removed the back cover because there were two modules here on the back side. So that's it. Just to do a final check, I'm gonna again connect the power source and power on the computer to see if it is working and if the RAM modules are correctly working. Okay, I powered on the system again. Let's do a final check. I open the About app. And there we go. We have 16 gigabytes of memory, and hopefully we will not have any RAM deficiency anymore, but I'm sure I will have again because I open a lot of applications at the same time, but I will have this problem more rarely than before. So thank you everyone for watching. Hope that you liked this video. See you in the next video.